these setups and these setups, these setups. Yes, we're gonna catch these setups, but they really only gonna give you like a 1-to-1, 1-to-2, maybe 1-to-3 some days, but you're not gonna get a 1-to-6. You're not gonna get no 1-to-6 R trade if it don't have no higher time frame influence. You're just not gonna get that. You may get some runners, don't get me wrong, you may get some runners, but if you're trying to strictly look for like high risk to reward trades, you need the higher time frame and you got to scale in. That's the only way if you want to consistently get higher risk reward trades. So after it hits, after it hits the 1 hour zone, then you look for a 5-minute setup. Yes, but the identical setup. So I can make my zone smaller. So you see like this line that I just adjusted, far as that 1 hour supply. You can adjust it, but sometimes the market may not want to fill in that gap. So, or like usually I do something like this, and I just make it like that. But then look at your zone. This would be the zone that it never tapped into, and now you're thinking like, okay, what is the direction? They tapped into the 1 hour, but they never tapped into the 15-minute supply that's within the 1 hour. I hope this is making sense. Like I feel like I'm losing everybody. Am I losing y'all? Please let me know if I'm losing y'all before I just keep going. We good? Okay, we good. All right, cool. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna replay that because we got like 3 other setups I'm gonna break down, but I'm putting the line there just to make sure. Okay, are they gonna tap into the 1 hour, or are they gonna tap into the 15-minute supply or the 5-minute? You got to be prepared for all 3 because we don't know where they're going to stop at. We can't like automatically know, okay, this is a higher time frame supply. They're going to just go all the way up into the 5-minute supply, or even for people that trade 1 minute, you will have a 1 hour supply, but are they going to go all the way at the top to tap into that 1 minute supply? No, it's not guaranteed. So you have to prepare for which one they're going to stop at. And then whatever one that they stop at, me personally, I'm going to wait until I see an identical setup on a lower time frame. So I'm going to say this one more time before I go to the next chart. If I see a 1 hour supply, I'm going to go to the 15-minute chart to see where I can put my horizontal line within the 1 hour. I'm going to go to the 5-minute to see where I can adjust that horizontal line from the 15-minute. Now, wherever they stop at, I'm going to wait until I see an identical setup on the 5-minute chart. And for people that like the 1 minute chart, I'm going to show you how to scale in on a 1 minute chart today. Okay. I just want to, you know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to make this stuff clear. But 15 and 5-minute are in a way considered higher time frame supply as long as it's within the 1 hour. Yes. So if it's in a 1 hour supply, you can scale, you can scale, well, not scale, but make the zone smaller. But me personally, I'm going to put a horizontal line. Okay. Just so I won't miss the move, because sometimes it's going to happen like that. Sometimes you may make your zone smaller and it never taps into your 15-minute zone or your 5-minute zone. Now it's like, okay, damn, I missed the move. Whether just keep the 1 hour zone like that, but just mark up the 5-minute and the 15-minute zones within the 1 hour so you won't miss the move. Okay. So let's just go to USD JPY. Let's just get off of this. I'm just going to take this off, because we don't care about it. We're not talking about 5-minute setups right now. We're talking about scaling in to get bigger rewards, okay? So right here, we are stuck in between supply and demand right here. But right here is strictly just on supply. So if we're at supply, we got a market structure break right here, got a momentum candle dropping, and it taps to supply. I'm going to go to the 15-minute chart. When I go to the 15-minute chart, I'm going to see where is the gap that I can make the zone smaller, but I'm not going to make the zone smaller. I'm just going to mark it up. I'm just going to put a horizontal line where it can potentially stop at. Do we know it's going to stop there? No, we don't know if it's going to stop there, but I'm going to mark it up just in case so I can know where I'm at. So this 1 hour zone, you can make the zone smaller with this green candle right here. With this green candle. Am I recording? I hope I'm not. I hope I'm recording. I'm going to be sick if I'm not recording. Hold on, y'all. Okay, I'm recording. Ooh, hey, that was gonna be tough. But okay, so all right, so this is the 15-minute zone right here, and we're in a 1 hour supply right here. So let's fast forward. Where is that? Okay. So it looked like they're rejecting the 1 hour zone. If you go to the 1 hour, it looks like they're rejecting the 1 hour zone, but it never tapped into the 15-minute zone. Let's go to the 5 minute. The 5 minute. Can we make our zone even smaller on the 5 minute? If we look up in this area, because this is the area, because remember, gaps, you always have to look to the right-hand side of price to see how can you adjust the zone. Do I have to have to break on the 15-minute first? No, we're just marking up. What we're doing right here is this is a 1 hour supply. We're marking up the 15-minute and the 5 minute to see where they could potentially stop at, but we have to prepare for each scenario. So I'm not saying like, okay, take the 15-minute break or wait for the 5 minute. What I'm doing is I'm marking up the lines to see where they're going to potentially stop. And then wherever they stop at, I'm going to wait until I see an identical setup on the 5 minute. That's literally it. That's literally it. How to enter these trades? Should I wait for the candle break or should I get in aggressive? That's your choice, bro. That is your choice. I can't tell you to get in aggressive on each trade, or I can't tell you to get in on the break of the candle each trade. It's kind of up to you, bro. I like the break of the candle. Some days I would get in aggressive, but when I do get in aggressive, I instantly lose. That's just the risk that I chose to take. Like, it's literally nothing I can do about that. Most trading gurus say trade one pair, one session, but with your Planet Man, your routine is to check top 2, 3, 4 pairs. Yeah, no, this work on any pair. You can do this during London, but me personally, I just like New York session. If you can't wake up in the morning when we trade, then trade London session. It's really just up to you, bro, honestly. And if you want to just stick with NAS 100, a lot of people in the Discord just strictly just trade NAS 100, nothing else. So it just really depends, bro. But me personally, like I look at GU, AU, SPX, and NAS. So it's just up to you. Okay, so let's finish this breakdown right here. So right here, it never tapped into that 15-minute. And then if I try to adjust this zone on the 5 minute, I can really only move this line up just a little bit because this candle got tapped into with that wick. And that's really about it. I'm not gonna lie, that's really about it. So let's go to the 15-minute chart. Now, for this specific setup, can you use this supply right here? You can, but me personally, I know realistically, I'm not going to do that because I don't trade on the 15-minute. So for people that do trade the 15-minute, this probably worked out for you, but I know I'm not going to do that. So that's just unrealistic in my opinion. So what am I going to do? I'm going to wait until the 5 minute present a setup, and then I'm going to take the sale. Okay. So that 15-minute supply that held, it don't really matter to me because I know I'm not going to take that because I'm going to wait for the 5 minutes to throw a setup. So let's fast forward. Now, in this very moment, we have a bias. Okay. Like we have a bias. Like, do we not have a bias? We do, because we already tapped into a 1 hour supply. It never tapped into that 15-minute or that 5 minute supply within the 1 hour, but that's okay though, because the market don't always want to do that within the 1 hour. The higher time frame setup. It don't always want to do that. Okay, that's why we just got that line marked up, but it never reached up there, but it tapped into that 1 hour supply. Because at the end of the day, this is a higher time frame setup. Okay, does a 5 minute setup have a breaker structure? Let's see. And it gotta be the high probability. I'm not doing no low probability on these examples. It gotta all have gaps on it, and they all gotta have a break of the candle. That's literally it. So right here, this one got a break of structure, but it's already tapped into, so that's a no right there. Okay, this one don't have a break of structure. This one don't have a break of structure, so gotta take that one with a grain of salt. But let me draw this out. Make sure so it won't. Did it tap? I'm not sure. I think it tapped. Let me be sure, because you got to stretch these candles out because sometimes they be doing sneaky stuff. Let me see. No, it tapped for sure. Yeah, it tapped. So this is still a no for me. I still need to see something that's going to get the high probability supply, and it just got to line up with the higher time frame setup. If you're taking HB setup, what causes losses? What causes losses? Either counter trend, or it was just a plain loss, or you ran into a demand. That's it. Counter trend. It was a plain loss and no explanation, or you ran into a demand. That's it. Like you literally ran into a demand. So this is not what I'm looking for right here, because that's already tapped into. So we just literally have to wait until we see an ideal setup that's going to occur, that have a gap that taps into it. Okay, there go one right there. That's one right there. I'm gonna just fast forward and see what happens. There go one right there. There go another one. Okay, so we have one right here that just happened. One right here that just happened. But this one only gave you a 1-on-1. But then this one, hold on, let me see how far did this drop? Okay, this one was really it. I like this one more because this one actually don't have a breaker structure. This one do. So if you're looking at this, like the time of the day, this is really for Asian session. Like this pair, like it moves during Asian session in New York. But understand, when it finally taps into, you said, I lost y'all. How I lose you, bro? How I lose you, bro? I don't want to keep going if I lost you. How did I lose you? How did I lose you, bro? Did it tap what? What were you checking for? Oh, no, what I was checking for, if you're talking about right here, I was checking to see if it had a gap on it. Like these setups right here, like this one right here, it got tapped into already, so I didn't want to take it. What I was looking for was a supply setup that had a gap. This one right here, the box that I just drawn out, that I was stretching out the candles, it tapped into it already. So this is considered low probability because it already tapped into it. I'm strictly looking for higher probability. This one didn't have a breaker structure. This one didn't have a breaker structure. This last one at the bottom broke that low and then came back up. That's what I was looking for. So I was looking for a breaker structure. That's really what I was looking for. I'm not gonna lie. Did that first supply have a breaker structure? This one up here, this one is low probability, but no breaker structure. This one, no. This one, yes. It broke this low right here. Okay. All right, so this whole setup right here, you probably missed this if you was waiting for that 15-minute or that one, not the 1 minute, but that 5-minute supply that was within the 1 hour. So this is what I mean by just putting a horizontal line and see where they reject from, and then wait for an identical setup, which was this setup right here, to take the sale. Okay. Okay, you want me to unmute you, bro? Okay, I'll unmute you, bro. What is that? Stunning jam. Okay. Okay, here you go. All right, you should be unmuted.
What's
going on?
Quick question for that previous box, the one that's up higher, right?
Right here?
Yeah, it kind of broke structure because if you look, like you had a bearish candle right here, right? And then I wish I could annotate, but you had that bearish bullish, and you had that bearish candle right before it, and then that candle came down. So it kind of broke structure.
On this setup, no. Okay, so if you're talking about this structure right here, are you talking about this structure right here being broken?
No, I'm gonna show you. Like, I wish I could annotate. If you draw this little mini bullish candle, like the pin bar candle, I guess it's called.
This one right here?
Right? Yeah. If you draw, if you go back to the line chart, you'll see like that, right? Isn't that a structure break?
Yes, but that's before it though. Like, I want the structure to happen basically on my setup. So like this structure, it broke structure, but that was before the setup even happened. You get what I'm saying? So I will want to see a structure and then a pullback to my setup. I mean, not a structure. I want to see a market structure break and then a pullback to my setup. So right here, I want to see this break lower, then come back up. This is the low right here. I want to see this be broken lower than this area and then come back up to my setup, if that makes sense. It broke structure previously, but I want to see my setup have a breaker structure. The setup wasn't over here. The setup is not over here. It happened afterwards. Okay. So that's what I mean by a breaker structure. Like I want to see a breaker structure, pull back, not breaker structure, then supply, and then we're dropping. Like, no, I hope this is making sense. Like this is a breaker structure right here.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
That is a breaker structure. But then look at the setup. This is the setup. It never broke that low right there. So it's just like, we just got liquidity down here, which that could be confluence though, but it didn't have a breaker structure though. You feel what I'm saying?
I would have took this trade because that's the stuff that I struggle with.
Okay.
That's the type of stuff that I struggle with, to be honest with you, because I never look too low. I just look for those little small breaks and then look for the setups because it has a gap right here. I see the gap in the candle. So I'm like, oh, that's a high probability setup. For me, it is. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
All right. Well, you have chose the green candle between the two candles that you drew. The green candle between, which one? Because it's like hella green candles over here. No, but this honestly, like, I'm gonna wait until I see a market structure break and then a supply. That's literally all I'm waiting for. Good information. Between the boxes. Oh, you talking about this one right here? This setup right here? I think I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm just gonna say Claire, but I think this is what you're talking about. Oh, and another thing, I'm glad you just said that. Look at the 200. The 200 is at the bottom. That's why I say, like, when you're going towards the 200, you're not gonna really know a reversal is about to happen because you're not even looking at the higher time frame. See, this is what we would do if we're not looking at the higher time frame. We'd do something like this. And we'd take a demand because the 200 is right there, but then we're not even realizing that they are just tied into a higher time frame supply, like between the two zones you just drew. Take this. I'm lost. I'm about to unmute you, Justin, bro, and then can you just point me to what you're talking about? Because I'm like, you feel me? I think it's Justin G. All right.
Yep, that's good. So right there, those two boxes that you just to the left. Well, yep, that green one right there. So I would have boxed that one as my zone, and I would have called that the supply zone.
No, sir. It already got tapped into. So say if I put a zone around right here, and then
right there exactly,
and then drew it across.
Yep.
No, sir. I'm looking for higher probability. I'm not looking for the ones that already got tapped into. So with this being said, look at that red candle. Look at that red candle that wicked into that box and then closed inside of the box. This candle right here, put an arrow on it. This would have not made me want to draw a zone right there, just off of that red candle. Now, if it would just no wick and it would just it was like a green candle right there, and then this green candle, I mean, not this green candle, this red candle right here just blasted out of it without the wick, yes, but it already tapped into it, so that's a no. That is a no. Can y'all hear me? You said I'm breaking up. Okay, what I was saying is I wouldn't have drawn my zone up right here because it wicked into the box and then closed inside of it. Okay, so since it closed inside of it, no, sir. Like, I'm not going to consider this zone at all. Like, again, I'm only looking for a setup that have a gap, and then we're going to take the break as a reverse for a sale. But this one already got tapped into, so it's just a straight up no for me. Not gonna lie, it's a straight up no. But that was a good question though. All right, so any question before I go on this demand setup, because it's a demand on this as well. Any questions? And high probability says we are targeting gaps and not liquidity. We're targeting liquidity as far as like take profits or paying attention to where they're grabbing liquidity, but like supply and demand, like we're just looking for where they are filling in gaps to reverse. But like you can aim for liquidity as far as targets and stuff like that. Can you give an example of a loss that caused by going into a demand? Okay, so I'm glad you just asked that, bro. I'm glad you just asked that. Because some people just strictly just look at the 5 minute without looking at anything else. They'll just do this. They're okay. This is the gap right here. Boom. We're gonna just start buying. Like No, bro. Like this is something that you will lose on. Like right here, you will literally lose on because you're not even aware of what's going on a higher time frame. You're just let's just buy. Like it's high probability, bro. You gotta look at the higher time frame. You have to. Kind of trend and playing loss. I do want to go over this stuff before we start talking about losses though, for sure. I really do. Because I had this all mapped out for today. So let me see if we have extra time for us going over the loss, like how to know like if this is a kind of trend setup or not, etc. Okay. So let's go to this demand setup that's at the bottom. Okay, so this demand setup, we're just going to delete this. We don't care about that supply. This demand setup right here is tapping into this 1 hour, okay? It's tapping into this 1 hour. And if we go to the 15-minute chart, can we make our zone smaller? Yes, we can, but it's just a little bit like right there. Like this is really the 15-minute line, but does it really matter? It kind of lined up perfectly with the 1 hour. So I'm not even going to mark it up because it don't really matter. Okay, now if I go to the 5 minute and I go to the 5 minute, we have a gap that's inside of the 1 hour demand. So I'm going to draw my horizontal line right there on that candle right there. And I'm going to keep my 1 hour zone right there, but I'm just going to mark up my 5 minute. Now, how I would approach this if I'm going into a 1 hour demand is I'm going to literally wait until I see a 5 minute setup occur. Okay, I'm not going to just start buying right there. No, I'm going to see is they going to throw another setup on my entry time frame. Okay, now again, some people, they just going to have buy limits just ready for whatever scenario. I'm not preaching that. That's not what I'm preaching. If that's what you want to do, that's what you're doing. What I'm doing is I'm waiting for a higher time frame zone to get tapped into, scale down using horizontal lines, and waiting for an identical setup to happen again, because they're going to keep doing the same type of setup. When they want to keep going up, they're going to break structures to the upside, throw a demand. Like if it's coming down to a demand, even on a 1 minute, you may see another demand happening at your entry on a 1 hour demand. Like it's just going to it's like fractals, like it's going to keep happening on different time frames. But let's fast forward. Let's fast forward. Okay, now what is this right here? They tap into that 5 minute supply, and then they do a market structure break right here. This is all structure right here. All of that is structure right there. And they break that high right there. So since they broke that high right there, and we're on a 5 minute, I'm trying to look for a buy because we're already at a 1 hour demand. Now let's look at the EMAs for people that care, that want to put a lot of emphasis on EMAs. Yes, the EMAs matter, but when you at a higher time frame, the entry time frame is not going to look like it want to go in that direction. Like you ever notice, like even on that all USD trade that I called out on Friday, it was a supply, but after that supply hit, it just went straight up. It's because that was probably a higher time frame demand or something like that. I'm breaking up.
Yeah,
I'm breaking up.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what's going on. Let me know if I'm clear again. Did you unmute, bro?
Yeah, you clear.
I'm good.
Yeah, you good.
Okay, all right. Okay, so right here, let me just go back so I won't lose my train of thought. This is a 1 hour demand. Went to the 5 minute. We really couldn't adjust it, and then I went to the 15 minute first. Really couldn't adjust it. Then I went to the 5 minute to make to draw my horizontal line to see where they could potentially stop at. Okay, so this right here, this is a demand right here. This is literally a demand right here. Aggressive buying, and all we're gonna do is just wait. Now I'm gonna look at the EMAs. Would any of you guys be confident to take this demand right here if you didn't know that this is a higher time frame confluence? If like this zone wasn't here, would you even consider this right here? I'm gonna take this off. Would anybody consider this right here? Would you really think that this is be like a demand that's gonna hold? No, you wouldn't, because we got the EMAs at the top. We thinking this is a sale. Everybody gonna think this is a sale. Even me, I'm gonna think this is a sale if I didn't check the higher time frame to see, okay, this can be a potential area that they're going to want to reverse. So that's why I say, like, look at the 1 hour. Like, it looked bearish, but we are tapping into a higher time frame demand right here. They're ready to reverse. So let's fast forward. Fast forward. And we just wait. Taps into our zone. Let me stretch this out. You feel what I'm saying? Like, catching reversals, most of the time when a trend is about to end, they're already tapping into another zone on a higher time frame. Like, literally, they already tapping into another zone on a higher time frame. So when people be like, okay, how far is the trend going to go? They're going up there to go into another zone. Like, they're just headed to fill in another gap to reverse it. But timing is key, though. So you're saying the 5-minute setup within the 1 hour zone is riskier to take. That's why we wait for another setup. No, I'm not saying it's not riskier, because some people have buy limits just strictly on the 5-minute, and they accepting the risk. Some people just literally have like you see how I had that 1 hour demand, and then I had that horizontal line right there on that 5 minutes. Some people have a buy limit right there, literally right there, like just boom, like soon as they wick them in, they end the trade, and it can be a very sniper entry, but it's not gonna always work out like that. And I won't tell y'all, oh, have a buy limit right there, you're gonna win. No, I'm not gonna say that, because I have seen that that not work. So that's why I personally just wait until I see another setup on my entry time frame, and I'm taking it. That's just what I like, honestly. So you create a one hour set zone,